Okay, guys, this is the final segment of the game preview against the Maryland Terrapins. Game time, of course, is Saturday afternoon at 12 noon on ESPNU at Sun Life Stadium. In this final segment, I'm going to read some quotes from Fridge's presser yesterday with the ACC media, and here's some of it. I'll play this little some of it here. Quote, Ralph, obviously the way you can throw multiple styles of blitz, how critical is that going to be as far as setting a tone against Stephen Morris? Fridge's response was interesting. You know what? We just kind of do what we do. We tweak it a little bit each week, but some teams handle it well, some teams don't. I'm assuming Miami sees a lot of that. They're one of the top teams in the country. They're going to be prepared for it. We'll do whatever we have to do to be successful. Protecting Stephen Morris is going to be critical in this game because, Maryland's going to throw, like Randy said, 3-3-5-3, and they're going to throw some blitz packages, so we're going to have, our outside guys are going to have to step up in this game. Another quote that really looks me is this. Given that when you see a new quarterback, young quarterback, does that make your eyes flap and say, we really have the weapons to make this a difficult game for him? Fridge's response, he fully expects Jacory to play, that being Harris. I think it's tough on young quarterbacks, some of the stuff Don throws at you. Again, I think he's one of the top young quarterbacks in the country. We'll see how it all unfolds. So he still thinks we might have J-12 start this game, but really I think it's going to be Stephen Morris. Another thing that I looked at here is, what can you take away most from the win against Wake Forest and take to Miami? Fridge's response was interesting. I read it and I found it interesting. I don't know if there's a whole lot of anything other than we should have some confidence. We made some plays. I think Wake was averaging 200 yards a game rushing. We did a good job of stopping that. I thought they were a pretty good offensive football team. I see us gaining in confidence each and every week. I think this will be a big task for us to grow in confidence and see where we're at right now. Okay, basically this is a big game for both teams. But Bailey's I think it's a bigger game for us, more so than it is for Maryland. Can you remember in your career game in which all three phases of the game came together so well the way they did Saturday against Wake? Actually, with the exception of the two losses we've had, I think our special teams have been playing pretty well, and our defense Saturday, our offense played well also. I thought Boston College was very similar. I thought we had a full, complete game at that time too. I think that's important for us to do that in order for us to have an opportunity to win. I look at the special teams, especially their punt return game, is second in the country. So we are going to have to be aware. We're going to have to try and stop their return game because their punt return game is best in the conference and second best in the country. So special teams are going to really have to step up. Another thing that I look at it here is, this is an interesting question from a reporter in North Carolina. Forgive me for being out of the loop here in North Carolina, but I wanted to ask you about Torrey Smith and returning kickoff. Historically, he has been one of the best in ACC history. Has he not been returning kicks lately? And there's a reason for that. Fridge's response was very interesting. He injured his ankle about 4 weeks ago and is just getting back to full speed right now. So that may be something we look at. Fridge continues, we have not done a good job in our return game. Personally, I find that hard to believe because when you're second best in the country, especially their punt return game, that is dangerous either way. It's probably one of the things I'm most dissatisfied about is our special teams. I thought we have improved the last 2 weeks. I thought we had a chance last week to have a return, and we dropped the kickoff. It was Darrell Scott that dropped the kickoff. Hopefully we can get that going some. But it's been probably the poorest thing we've done on special teams right now. Last year was the best thing we did on special teams. So I tell you what, when you look at that punt return game, it's still very dangerous. It's something our coverage is going to have to really step up in this ball game. Big time. Now here's something that I really found out in the end. I found interesting here. As it helped your team's success by flying under the radar with mostly attention going to FSU and NC State. I don't know if it's helped our success a lot. I think we're kind of approaching each game individually. Going to continue that, so it is what it is. Whether we are under the radar or over the radar, we're just focusing on the next game. Well, I'm going to tell you something. When you look at Maryland, this team is absolutely loaded, and they are pretty darn good. I mean, we cannot take them lightly. No question about that. The final point that I looked at with Maryland last week is, since the game a few weeks ago where you scored 7 points against Clemson, what do you feel better about your offense the last couple of performances? We've been very fortunate. I think we've done a very good job taking advantage of turnovers, had field position. I think Danny being Danny O'Brien has played very well. I think our receivers the last 2 games have played exceptional. The last game we were able to get a running game going. We didn't run the ball very well against Clemson or BC. We were able to run it better against Wake. When you can throw and run it, you get your offense on track. So the thing we're going to have to do, like I said, we have got to pressure Danny O'Brien, and we have got to, and most importantly, stop the run. We have got to make Danny O'Brien have to beat us. Make Maryland one-dimensional. And I think we can do it, and also stop the return game. So let me close the chat with this point. Well, I will say this, and I'll close with this. I think we will come out ready to play this ball game. I think we're going to get that Virginia taste out of our mouths. Maryland's a very good football team. I have to say, to win this ball game, we have got to force at least 2-3 turnovers in this game. We do that, I think we win this ball game. I thought this was going to be a rout because Fridge's team was just horrible, but hey, they've surprised a lot of people this year, and we have got to take them seriously. And this is, I think, it's as big a game as it is for Maryland. It's a bigger game for us. It's a bigger game for us. Basically, from here on out, it's Shannon's job on the line. If we're not, like I said, if we're not in Charlotte, Randy goes. Randy's gone after the USF game. So, come out in this game. Come out ready. I think we'll do that. I'm going to say, in the end, prediction, Canes 27, Maryland 13. That's the way I'm going. I think we're going to shut down the running game. I think we're going to come out ready to play. I think everything's going to be clicking. We're going to get back on track, and we're going to get a most needed, important win against the Maryland Terrapins on Saturday. A very good football team. So, Canes 27, Maryland 13. So that's the end of the chat, folks. So the next time I see you guys will be 30 minutes after the game ends Saturday afternoon. So look for it around ballpark 4:30, depending on what time the game ends. So we're going to see you then. Expect a good ball game Saturday. Hopefully we see a good crowd and get behind these guys, because these guys, the team deserves it. And enough of this. Let's get back on track. Enough of the garbage that's gone on with Randy. I know Randy's on the hot seat, but at least for 1 week, he gets off the hot seat, and we win a big ball game on Saturday. A game we really have to have. So that will be it for now. Thanks for watching. It's all about the U. See you Saturday afternoon at 3:30, 4 o'clock.